In the handbook, you have a series of notes on each of the criteria. But let's have a detailed look at one or two of them, and I'd like to look at this one, number 11, which is the average invoice value on contract placements as a percentage of average contract salary. Clearly the first step in order to get this number at all is that you have to have the average placement salary for contract. And if you're not measuring that on permanence, you're probably not measuring it either on contract. And if you're not measuring it on contract, then you don't have the benefit of a very valuable RIB index indicator for contract placement business. Now, not every business has contract placements. There is an indication, there may be more and more of them taking place now, where a client has said, I want to take someone onto my payroll, not as a temporary, not as a contractor, but it will be for a fixed term contract of a few months. Okay, you say, so what sort of salary is this individual going to be earning? And the answer, for the sake of argument, is $24,000 a year. But I don't want to give them a contract for any more than 4 months. So effectively, I am going to employ them for 4 months and pay them £8,000. What's your fee, Mr. Employment Agency? Placement fee for a contract placement. And so many of our industry have just bowled over to the argument from the client which says, well, as it's only a third of a year, I'll just pay you a third of the fee. Your standard fee is against a normal placement. As it's a short-term placement, I would pay less. And I think the obvious calculation is 1/3 for 1/3 of a year. Well, that is absolute rubbish if you think about it logically. Certainly we will have done just as much work to provide that individual and provide that introduction for that short term as we would do for a full indefinite placement. So the starting point should be, well, it's the same fee, but clearly the client would then regard that fee as a very serious on-cost to what is a fairly short employment. So no doubt some negotiation can take place. But the logic of it's a third for a third is that, oh, so if they're going to stay with you for 2 years, we charge you double, do we? Because the only reason that they get this logic in their mind is because we all happen to express salaries as an annual sum. And our fee structure in the industry is based on what is an annual sum. Consequently, with many of the companies I was working with, we set in our terms of business a separate section for contract placements where the standard terms, where perhaps there are sectors of salary and rates that go with it, are higher for contract placements, but then we accept the pro rata fee structure. So we're getting more than a third straight away. But as soon as and if the contract placement extends, as they often do, then, and this is made clear obviously up front, then Mr. Client, as soon as you extend the contract, then you can have them for as long as you wish, but we wish to have the remainder of the normal fee for £24,000 a year. Now, if you just put that into your terms of business and start to get it into the thinking and start to talk logically with your clients, then you can, over time, get that figure up. If you're not even measuring the placement salary, you don't have a price. So get that information in place. RIB will help you to see whether it's valid, and then you're on.